Welcome to another video in a series about using Google Classroom with NVDA or JAWS. This is the second of two parts exploring Google Classroom questions. In this part, we will use the question details page. I'm using NVDA for this demonstration, but the commands are similar in JAWS. In part 1 about questions, we learned that although sometimes you can answer a multiple choice question without using the question details page, there are many times when you will need to use the details page to answer a question. I'm on a question details page now, so let's explore it. Like all pages in Google Classroom, you can navigate by button to the main menu, Google Apps, Google Account, and Help pages. The links list includes a link to the class title as well as links to any attachments. There also may be 2 additional links once you turn in your answer to a short answer question if your teacher has turned on the option so you can see other classmates' answers. Those links would be your answer and classmates' answers. Now let's look at the headings. Like the assignment details page, the questions detail page has 2 headings, the class title and the question title. The best way to navigate the page is to go to the question title and then start detailed navigation from there. So I'll do that now with H or Shift H until I get to the question title.
Main Landmark 9-7 Reading Assignment Heading Level 1.
So now I'm at the question title, and from here I'll use down arrows to navigate the details. But first let me say the question details page is very similar to the assignment details page in a lot of respects. The difference is that instead of having a Your Work section like the assignment details page had, the questions detail page has a Your Answer section. And since we learned about those common fields when we explored the assignment details page, I'm going to use my down arrows fairly quickly until I get to the fields we need to answer the question. If you want a refresher on any of the fields I bypass, please refer to the video about navigating the assignment details page. So here we go. I'm going to use my down arrow until I get to the instructions.
Menu button 6. September 100 due September 4 Instructions.
I heard instructions, so I'm going to pause here, use another down arrow until I hear the end of my instructions.
Read the attached story and answer this question. How old is Sam?
That's the end of the instructions. I heard that there was an attached story, so I'm going to press another down arrow, which should give me the attachment.
Link attachment, Google Docs, all about Sam.
We know from using attachments before that we just need to press enter to open it up. So I'll do that now.
Untitled Google Chrome Sally, blank, screen reader support enabled. View only access, screen reader support enabled. View only access on page 1. All about Sam. Sam lives with his 2 sisters, his mother and father, and his grandmother. Sam is 12 years old. Sam and his family live in Chicago.
That sounds like the end to the attachment, so I'm going to close this tab by using the Google Chrome shortcut key, Control-W.
9-7 Reading Assignment Document, Visited Link Attachment, Google Docs, all about Sam.
And just like before when we used an attachment, when we close the tab with that attachment, we are returned to the details page exactly where we left off. Now I'll continue to use my down arrow. I'm going to bypass the class comments section and I'm going to keep on going till I hear your answer.
Class comment, add class out of edit button unavailable, complimentary landmark your answer assigned.
So I heard your answer and then I also heard assigned. Questions can have the same status as assignments did. Let's review what those are. If you haven't answered the question yet, the status will be assigned or missing depending on the due date. And if you have answered the question, the status will be turned in or turned in late if the teacher has not reviewed it yet, and graded or returned if it has been reviewed. Now what we get with our next down arrow will depend on whether we've answered the question yet or not. If you've answered the question, the next field will be the answer you've given. And if the answer was multiple choice, you may hear the count of students who made the choices. If you have not answered the question, the next field will either be a series of checkboxes for multiple choice questions or a space to enter your short answer. Now we know we haven't answered this question yet because we heard that the status was assigned. So the next down arrow should give us a place to answer the question. I'll press the down arrow now.
Type your answer, edit multi-line space.
I heard type your answer, multi-line space. That means that this question is a short answer question. To answer a short answer question, first you need to press enter to access text mode. I'll do that now. I heard the tone that indicated I'm in text mode. I'll type in my answer. The question was, how old is Sam? And Sam is 12 years old.
Space 1, 2.
I've typed in my answer, and now I can press tab to access the question action button. I'll do that now.
Turn in button.
Now when you press the turn in button for a short answer question, one of two things will happen. If you are not permitted to edit your answer once you turn it in, then you will get a pop-up that warns you that you cannot make changes. If you can edit your answer once you've turned it in, as soon as you press the turn in button, that will be it. It will be turned in. So I'm going to press enter for the turn in button, and we'll see whether we are allowed to edit our answer.
Submit answer. Dialog: you won't be able to make changes to your answer after you submit. Turn in button. Submit answer. Button turn in.
I got the submit answer dialog, which explained that I won't be able to make any changes once I turn this in. So if I know I'm ready, I'll just tab to the turn in button. I'll press tab now.
Cancel button. Turn in button.
And I'll press enter to accept the turn in button.
Unavailable. Turning in. Answer submitted. Content info landmark menu button collapsed sub-menu no indent help and feedback.
So I heard that my answer was turned in, and the other thing that happened was that I heard that I was now on the help and feedback button. We know the help and feedback button is the last item on the page, so if we want to do anything else on the question details page, we should use H, our quick command for headings, to return to the question title and navigate from there. I'm going to use H now to go to the question title.
Main landmark 9-7 reading assignment heading level 1.
And then I'm going to use down arrow quickly until I get to the your answer section.
Menu, sep 1, do instruction, read the visited class, add class comment, out of edit button, complimentary landmark your answer turned in.
Now because I just turned in the answer to my question, did you hear that the status was changed to turned in? My next down arrow,
Sam is 12.
I hear the answer that I typed in. Now if I had been able to edit this answer, my next down arrow would take me to the edit button. But because I can't edit my answer, the next down arrow is going to take me to the private comment section. I'll press the down arrow now.
Private comments.
Navigation in the private comments area is the same as we saw on the assignment details page. First we hear any private comments that the teacher might have left for us, and then the next down arrow gets us a place where we can add a private comment.
Add private comment. Edit required multi-line space.
The next down arrow would be the post button for that comment.
Out of edit button unavailable no indent post.
And it's not available since we didn't type anything in. And then our last down arrow.
Content info landmark menu button collapsed sub-menu help and feedback.
Gets us to the help and feedback button so we know we're at the end of the details page. So that's a little bit about using the question details page.